Hello, my name is Elijah Wells, and today's review is David F. Sandberg's and DC's new movie, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Taking place only a couple years of the first film that came out in 2019, it follows Billy Batson, or Shazam, played by Zachary Levi, who is trying to hold his family together, or his Shazammy, who are wanting to do like superhero stuff on their own, or going to college, or wanting to get a job somewhere else. And he's just trying to be basically almost like a father figure to the entire superhero gang. While in the meantime, the Daughters of Atlas, being portrayed by Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and Rachel Ziegler, try and successfully restore the staff that was very prominent in the first film, and of course, begin to wreak havoc onto Philadelphia. There are some game-changing movies in the DC canon like The Dark Knight and The Joker, and some not so well received movies like Batman and Robin and Catwoman. For Shazam! Fury of the Gods, this movie feels weirdly middle of the road. Like, it isn't too awful to the point I'm pretty much angry about it, and it isn't too brilliant that I'm going to parade about it on social media. It's just kind of average, to be honest. Even though there's definitely some great performances here and there, and some great gags here and there. I do like Zachary Levi in the movie. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are brilliant in the movie, as well as Rachel Ziegler. And particularly with one of his foster brothers, Billy's foster brother. He's trying to get a girlfriend, and turns out, oh no, she's one of the Daughters of Atlas, which is going to be pretty dangerous for reasons they just kind of brush through in like 5 minutes afterwards. The movie, even though I don't remember already too much about the movie because I've only just seen it yesterday, but I do like a couple of stuff. For example, Asher Angel's performance, as well as Zachary Levi, is really good in the movie as he brings the more human element, the more down-to-earth element of Shazam like he did in the first film. Jack Dylan Grazer, who plays Freddy in the movie, is also really interesting and basically I feel like has more character to him than the first film, where he's just almost the token supportive brother in the movie, and this time he basically gets kidnapped and he tries to get his way back. And also there's the ongoing blip issue that they go into, that the entire Shazam family, almost like Spider-Man 2, is that they'll lose their powers and regain their powers almost on a whim due to the course of the Daughters of Atlas. And of course there's Shazam, the last surviving member of the Council of Wizards, who has a much more prominent role in the movie. And he is pretty angry at Billy Batson for throwing away the staff in the first film. Like, what could go wrong? I'm just going to dump this away. And only to backfire on him a couple of years later when it turns out it's all the way now in Athens, Greece, and it's going to come back to bite him in the ass. So, not the most smartest move Shazam has done. The humour in this movie, again, I really like the movie, particularly that little girl who's really obsessed with Darla, who's really obsessed with unicorns, and the elder wizard's like hyping her up, like do not go near unicorns. Like even though they're nothing like the something you hear in storybooks, they are dangerous and fierce, and also they come down after they eat some Skittles. And of course, they chase down all these ogres, demons, something out like a heavy metal album cover, and it kind of just the fight scenes kind of just resolve from there. As admittedly the more interesting fight scene happens, which I wish could have happened a lot longer, in my opinion, is Shazam's fighting with Lucy Liu's character in the movie while flying around Philadelphia in this big dragon who is made of wood. Which, again, I wish it could have gone on a little bit longer, but again, I think particularly the final fight scenes where it takes place in a baseball stadium, which is like really interesting, particularly all that lightning striking, which is again really good. Again, with the massive subplot that again doesn't like feed its way through properly, but again, it's very interesting that it is brought up in the first place, because he does live in essentially in a foster home. Again, I'm not sure what US law says about foster home, whether they have state laws or federal laws, that he's basically going to be, in theory, kicked out at the age of 18 and will basically be stripped of funding. I'm not sure if it's the most overly exaggerated thing, because I basically live in a foster home, even though I'm the birth child. Like, my parents do fostering, but I'm not one of their foster children, so to speak. But again, again, my mom actually did like the movie. I saw she did also like the first film, so at least she did tag along and did like the film. Again, this is something that might have made or break the movie, is the villain's motivations. Again, I really do like the villain's motivation as to seek revenge after basically being cut off from the god world and having stuff like plucked from their hands and being completely scapegoated from the world. Again, all three of them have like really more chilled reactions to like Rachel Ziegler, who's again having a massive crush on with Freddie, and also with Helen Mirren, who is actually really great in the movie, particularly in the scene where they eat like Philly cheesesteaks, where she just straight up terrified Shazam, and like, is this what your mother and your father are going to be proud of? Is this what you're going to do for your bloodline and that? And also just completely outsmarting him, even in the prison scene. That again, really good. And there's Lucy Wu, who lives up to her title as almost like the god of chaos. Like, she will bring the most chaotically evil solution. Like, well, wipe out humanity? Ah, that sounds like a walk in the park. What about wipe out humanity with the city around it? So, again, and of course it did lead to a lot of dysfunctionality between the sisters and a lot of disagreements, which again, I really do like, as I really do like to see the villains being not as uniform as they want to come off like that. Again, the same thing with the heroes. Like, they're all wanting to go their separate ways, and they're all almost in a weird way being really dysfunctional about it. And then the movie also has a really weird cameo of Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot, of course, who, even though the recent news that came out like months ago where Wonder Woman 3, it may never unfortunately see the light of day again, given how Wonder Woman 2 was basically a critical and a commercial flop. I feel it comes off like a one last paycheck for Gal Gadot. Like, she's already in there for like only on set for like a day. Like, okay, time to wrap this thing up, because James Gunn and Peter Vaughan are just going to reset the entire DCEU for like the 20th time already. So, let's see how it goes. Like, I think the big problem with DCEU is like the longevity. Feels really inconsistent. Like, I have no idea what the long game for the DCEU. Like, at the moment for Marvel, even though I really did not care at all for the recent Ant-Man movie, the long game is that Kang is definitely going to come back, and he's going to wreak havoc not just on Ant-Man, but the entire Avengers as a whole, including some new members. They'll probably join up on the way. For DC, again with the reforms with James Gunn and Peter Vaughan on the helm, it just, in my opinion, it feels really unclear, like who, what, where, or what's happening at all. Like, who knows? Maybe we could get the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League 2 Electric Boogaloo. Again, I think that's kind of the major issue that everyone can agree with DC nowadays. Even though there are some great performances, some very interesting concepts, a cool action scene to boot, the movie itself doesn't have that much of a reason to kind of happen, to be honest. Like, I don't remember like a lot in the movie. Again, this is a movie that maybe will definitely satisfy the more hardened superhero fans out there, and will definitely please the more casual cinema goer like me myself. Like, it's pretty inoffensive at best, but again, it isn't that much of a risk taker at the same time. Like, it doesn't like break new ground. It doesn't like progress the DCEU into another direction, let alone the Shazam world of things. And particularly with Black Adam and how that brutally flopped in the box office. It just, to be honest, I feel like this is DCEU kind of peddling out and running on fumes at the moment. So, again, some cool moments. I would probably watch it again if it's on DVD or Blu-ray. So, I'm thinking of a 6 out of 10 on this one. Or maybe, no, scrap that, maybe 6.5 out of 10. So, what do you think of Shazam, the Fury of the Gods? Comment down below, subscribe to my channel, like this video, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and this is Elijah Wells, and bye.